The morning sky over New York was calm and clear. Birds flew between the skyscrapers, and the city seemed to breathe with life. People went about their day without knowing that far beyond the stars, a force watched them, waiting for the right moment to strike. Humanity had grown proud of its technology and peace, but it had no idea that the galaxy's most feared empire had been observing them for centuries. On the roof of a communications tower, Captain Daniel Harris adjusted the controls of a drone surveillance system. His eyes scanned the horizon, calm yet alert. Daniel was not a young man, but he had a sharp mind and steady hands, trained to act quickly under pressure. His assistant, Lieutenant Mia Thompson, stood nearby, checking the satellite feeds on a handheld device. She was fast and precise, her brown hair tied neatly so it would not get in the way during emergencies. "Everything looks normal," Mia said, her voice calm but cautious. "Nothing unusual detected in orbit. The satellites show normal traffic." "No signs of any large objects approaching Earth," Daniel nodded. "Good, let's hope it stays that way." He tapped a button, sending a set of drones to patrol the nearby city blocks. Despite the peace, he could never ignore the possibility of danger. Humans had learned the hard way that surprises often came from places they did not expect. Meanwhile, in a high-tech command center underground, Olivia King monitored global communications. She had been part of Earth's defense team for over 10 years. Olivia had a talent for strategy, seeing connections where others saw only chaos. On her screen, maps of orbital satellites, missile systems, and deep space signals moved in constant motion. She frowned slightly as she noticed small distortions in the data, nothing alarming yet but unusual. "Lucas, run a diagnostic on the deep space sensors," Olivia said. Lucas Bryant, a young engineer with messy blonde hair and quick fingers, immediately began typing commands into the system. "Check every sector. I want a full readout of anything approaching Earth from the outer rim." "Yes, Commander," Lucas said, his voice steady but excited. He loved working with the technology that kept humanity safe, though he had never faced the kind of threat that was about to arrive. Far beyond Earth, in the cold emptiness of space, the Empire's fleet moved like a shadow. Hundreds of massive ships, each bristling with weapons that could destroy entire continents, formed a perfect formation. Admiral Cale Voss stood on the command bridge of the lead ship. He was tall, with sharp features and icy eyes. To him, humans were nothing more than a minor annoyance, a primitive race that had lasted far too long without guidance. "They will surrender," Voss said, his voice calm but full of certainty. "Earth is weak. Their weapons are primitive. Their people are foolish to think they can resist us. Prepare for attack. We will show them the true power of the Empire." His officers nodded, initiating the final assault protocols. The ships hummed and glowed with energy as weapons charged, shields rose, and fighter crafts were launched. Within hours, Earth would face a threat it could not imagine. Back on Earth, Daniel and Mia continued their work, unaware of the massive fleet moving closer at impossible speed. Olivia watched the sensor data, trying to understand the small anomalies, while Lucas's fingers flew across the keyboard. Suddenly, the monitors flickered. A small blip appeared on the deep space radar. "Commander, we have an unidentified fleet approaching from the outer rim," Lucas said, pointing at the screen. "It's huge, and it's faster than anything we have seen." Olivia leaned closer. "Show me the visuals," she said, her heart beginning to beat faster. The feed zoomed in, revealing enormous ships, dark and metallic, moving in formation. The fleet dwarfed anything humanity had ever built. Daniel's voice came over the communicator. "What are we looking at?" he asked, his calm tone hiding the tension in his chest. "Not sure yet," Olivia said, "but it's big, too big to ignore, and they're heading straight for Earth." Mia frowned. "Could it be a meteor shower or maybe a natural phenomenon?" Olivia shook her head. "No, this is organized. These ships are moving with purpose in formation. This is not natural. This is an attack." Daniel gritted his teeth. "Then we need to alert the world immediately. Humanity doesn't have time to prepare for something this large." He pressed a button and activated the global warning systems. Alarms began to sound across continents. News channels interrupted programs to broadcast the warning, "Unidentified fleet approaching Earth. Possible hostile intent. All citizens advised to seek shelter and await further instructions." Panic spread quickly, but Daniel, Mia, Olivia, and Lucas had no time to panic. They immediately began coordinating Earth's defenses. Satellites, missile batteries, fighter jets, and orbital stations were activated. But even as humanity prepared, the Empire fleet moved closer, and their confidence only grew. On the bridge of the Empire's flagship, Admiral Voss observed Earth through massive observation screens. Cities, large and small, flickered with alarms. Humans scurried like ants, trying to fight against a force they could not possibly hope to match. Voss's lips curled into a smile. "They think they can resist us," he said. "Prepare the energy cannons, begin bombardment. Erase their defenses, make them see the futility of resistance." The first strikes hit. Massive beams of energy rained down on Earth's orbital stations. The sky above the cities lit up as explosions rocked the surface. Humans on the ground screamed in fear. Some buildings collapsed instantly. The Empire's attack was precise, showing both power and ruthlessness. Daniel watched from the rooftop as one of the orbital stations exploded in a ball of fire. "They're faster than we expected," he said, "and stronger. Our defenses might not hold." Mia's voice was firm. "Then we fight smarter. We don't have their technology, but we have brains, we have creativity, we have courage." Lucas nodded. "And maybe a few tricks they don't know about. Earth has secrets, Commander." Olivia's eyes narrowed. "We'll need every secret we have, every hidden system, every plan we've never used. Humanity is about to face the greatest threat in history, but we will fight. We must fight." The Empire's ships continued their bombardment. Cities burned. Humanity's conventional weapons were almost useless. Fighter jets were shot down with ease. Missiles were intercepted mid-flight. Earth's defenses, while advanced, were no match for the Empire's technology. Yet, even as the Empire celebrated their apparent victory, small signs of resistance began to emerge. In one of the hidden military bunkers, a group of engineers activated emergency protocols for a fleet that had been kept secret for decades. These were not ordinary ships. They were designed in secret, long before humans even considered interstellar travel. They were fast, adaptive, and powerful. They were humanity's hidden answer to the Empire, though nobody outside a few commanders knew they existed. Daniel, Mia, Lucas, and Olivia were summoned to the bunker. "This is it," Olivia said. "If we lose, humanity may be destroyed, but if we succeed, we will show the galaxy that humans are not weak. We will show them we can fight." Lucas looked at the massive, dormant warships, their metal hulls gleaming in the dim light. "I've never seen anything like this," he said quietly. "They've been waiting for centuries, and now they are awake." Daniel placed a hand on Lucas's shoulder. "Then we give them life. We make every second count. The Empire thinks this is easy, but they are about to learn the first lesson. Humans never give up." Mia took a deep breath. "Let's go then. Let's make history." Above them, the Empire fleet continued its assault, confident and unafraid. They had not seen the fire that burned within humanity, the determination that had carried people through famine, war, and disaster. They did not know that humans had a way of surviving against all odds, a way of turning the impossible into the possible. And soon the Empire would see it. Deep underground, in a hidden military bunker far from the cities, the air was tense. Massive machines hummed, and the walls vibrated slightly from the distant attacks above. The Empire's bombardment shook the ground even this far below, but the humans inside the bunker moved with purpose. This was the heart of Earth's secret defense, the place where humanity's last hope waited. Captain Daniel Harris stepped closer to one of the massive warships, his hands brushing over the metal surface. The ship was dormant, but its design was unlike anything Daniel had ever seen. Smooth lines, energy conduits glowing faintly under the hull, and a strange sense of intelligence radiating from within. "They've been waiting a long time," Lucas Bryant said, standing nearby and examining the control panels. His fingers ran across the ancient touchscreens with care. "I think these ships were built to do more than fight. They were built to survive, to adapt, to win." Lieutenant Mia Thompson leaned over a console and studied the activation sequence. "We've never seen the Empire face humans with weapons like this. They assume we are weak. That's their mistake. If we can get these ships online, we might turn the battle around in hours, not days." Olivia King appeared at the entrance to the docking bay, her face set with determination. "Time is short. The Empire is hitting everything above ground. If we don't act now, the damage will be catastrophic. Every second counts." Daniel nodded. "Then let's wake them up." He pressed a sequence of buttons that Lucas had already prepared, and the hum of machinery grew louder. Lights flickered on the ships, panels sliding open, revealing systems that had been untouched for decades. Slowly, almost as if they were alive, the warships powered up. Their engines glowed with a soft blue light, and their weapon systems moved as if testing themselves. The bunker shook with energy, and the team could feel the power that had been hidden for so long. "These ships, they're incredible," Mia said softly. "They're not just weapons, they're smart. They're alive in some way, they know what to do." Lucas smiled. "I told you, humans never put all their eggs in one basket. They planned for this. For centuries, someone thought ahead, someone knew we might face a threat we could not imagine. And now, it's our turn to use that foresight." Olivia turned to Daniel. "You're the captain, take the lead. Daniel, Mia, Lucas, you'll form the first squad. This is your mission. Get the ships into orbit, take the fight to the Empire, and show them what humanity can do." Daniel clenched his jaw. "We will. They think they can destroy us. They have no idea what's coming." Outside, the Empire fleet continued its attack. Massive beams of energy cut through the atmosphere, striking cities, orbital stations, and satellites. People ran for shelter, screaming as the sky lit up with fire. The Empire's officers laughed, confident in their easy victory. On the bridge of the lead human warship, Daniel looked out at the earth beneath them. The cities were burning, but the people were still alive. And now, for the first time, the humans had a weapon capable of facing the Empire fleet head-on. "Initiate launch sequence," Daniel ordered. Mia and Lucas worked quickly, pressing the necessary commands. The ship rumbled, engines glowing brighter. Slowly, it lifted off from the bunker, moving through the tunnels toward the surface. The walls shook as the massive craft broke through the earth, emerging into the open sky. The Empire's sensors immediately detected the ships. "Unidentified craft," one officer shouted. "They are activating weapons, fire on them." The first beams of energy shot toward the human ship, but the shields activated instantly. The Empire's weapons bounced off as if hitting a wall of steel. Daniel maneuvered the ship with precision, moving faster than the enemy expected. Smaller ships followed, and soon a squadron of humans rose into the sky, their ships glowing with blue energy and humming with power. Mia's voice came through the communicator. "They can't hit us. Their weapons are outdated. They don't understand what these ships are capable of." "Keep moving, Daniel. We can do this." Lucas added, "The Empire thinks they are superior, that they are the strongest, but they've never fought humans like this. They don't know what we can do when we work together." Olivia's calm voice guided them from the command center underground. "Focus on the smaller ships first. They are faster and more dangerous in groups. Use the pulse cannons on the flanks. I will coordinate the bigger strikes." The battle began in earnest. The Empire launched hundreds of fighters, but the humans moved with unmatched skill. Daniel and Mia piloted their ships with agility, dodging beams and striking with precision. Each pulse cannon fired obliterated enemy ships in moments, leaving the Empire in shock. "Impossible," shouted one of the Empire officers. "They're erasing our ships in seconds. How can this be?" Daniel's ship glided over a crumbling city, using the debris for cover. He aimed carefully, firing a pulse cannon that detonated a group of enemy fighters before they could reach him. Mia followed, taking out another squadron with a series of quick, controlled blasts. The humans were no longer on defense. They were attacking. Above the chaos, the Empire's flagship tried to coordinate its forces. "Form a barrier, protect the lead ships, target the humans," Admiral Voss shouted, his icy face now showing signs of surprise. "These humans, they are stronger than we expected. Adjust strategy." Do not underestimate them. But it was too late. The humans had already taken control of the battle. Lucas, monitoring the energy output of the pulse cannons, smiled. "They're learning. Our ships adapt faster than their weapons. Every strike we make teaches the ship how to fight better. Every hit they take makes them weaker next time." Mia glanced at Daniel. "They don't understand human ingenuity. They think weapons and numbers win wars. They forget the most important weapon we have, our minds." Daniel nodded. "And courage, they don't understand courage either." In the sky above the capital, smaller human ships joined the battle. They were fast, nimble, and perfectly coordinated. Cities burned below, but the humans focused on the Empire fleet. The first signs of panic spread through the enemy lines. Pilots screamed in disbelief as their ships were destroyed in moments. Energy beams and missiles were no match for the adaptive technology and precise attacks of the human fleet. "Retreat!" shouted one officer. "Fall back." Fall back, but the humans anticipated every move. The Empire fleet could not escape. Daniel, Mia, and Lucas coordinated attacks that targeted the largest and most powerful ships first. The flagship itself shook as pulse cannons struck repeatedly, tearing through its armor. Olivia's voice guided them like a calm river through the storm. Focus on the lead ships. Break their formation. Once their command is gone, the rest will fall. The Empire's fleet tried to regroup, but their formations collapsed. Humans had not only matched their technology, they had outsmarted it. Smaller ships took out enemy fighters, larger pulse cannons destroyed cruisers, and the Empire's command structures were falling apart. Admiral Voss's face hardened. This cannot be. They are humans. They are erasing our fleet. How is this possible? Daniel, flying through the debris of destroyed ships, felt a surge of pride. This is what happens when you underestimate humans, he said to Mia. They forget that we survive when we have to, and we fight when it matters most. Mia fired another pulse cannon, watching a massive cruiser explode in brilliant light. And we adapt. That's what they can't predict. That's why we survive. That's why we win. The humans fought with everything they had, their hidden fleet now fully active. Lucas monitored the energy shields, ensuring no human ship was damaged. The battle raged, but every strike from humanity left the Empire weaker and more confused. Their confidence vanished as they realized Earth was not defenseless. On the ground, people watched in disbelief as the sky lit up with strange, glowing ships. Explosions flashed in orbit, destroying enemy craft in seconds. Humanity had risen from fear to fight back, showing that even in the darkest hour, they were capable of miracles. As the last group of enemy fighters fell, Daniel looked toward the horizon. "This is only the beginning," he said quietly. "They attacked us thinking it would be easy. Now they will remember humanity, they will remember Earth, and they will never forget it." Olivia, still guiding them from the underground command center, smiled faintly. "We've shown them a part of our strength today, but the Empire has more. They are powerful, and they will not give up. But humanity has something stronger than technology. We have each other. And that is a weapon no one can destroy." The humans regrouped above the cities, their fleet glowing with energy and purpose. The Empire's fleet was stunned, their losses heavy, and the survivors unsure of what to do next. For the first time in centuries, humans were not afraid of the galaxy. They had faced an impossible threat, and they had fought back. Daniel, Mia, and Lucas prepared to strike again, their minds focused, their hearts steady. Humanity had awakened, and the battle for Earth had truly begun. Above Earth, the battle raged on. The Empire's fleet, once confident and organized, was now in chaos. Ships that had seemed invincible were reduced to burning wrecks in moments. Humanity's secret fleet moved with speed and precision that no one could predict. Every attack they launched was calculated, every movement carefully planned. The humans were not just surviving, they were winning. Captain Daniel Harris piloted his ship through the debris of destroyed enemy craft. His pulse cannon glowed as he lined up his next target, a massive cruiser that had been firing relentlessly on the city below. "Mia, Lucas, focus on the lead ship," he ordered. "We need to break their command, take out the officers. Once they are gone, the rest will fall apart." Mia adjusted her targeting system, her hands moving quickly across the controls. "I see it, Daniel. Shields are strong, but I think we can penetrate them." "Lucas, give me a boost on the pulse cannon energy." Lucas nodded and sent extra power to the weapon system. "Done. This should cut through their armor. Hit it now." Mia fired. A beam of bright energy tore through the cruiser's shields, hitting the hull and causing a massive explosion. The ship rocked violently and then exploded in pieces, floating silently in space. Daniel grinned. "That's one down. Let's move to the next." Meanwhile, on the bridge of another human ship, Olivia King monitored the entire battlefield. Her eyes scanned the fleet, tracking enemy movements and predicting their next attack. "The Empire thinks they can retreat, but they can't," she said calmly. "They are too slow, too predictable. Our ships are faster, smarter, and more powerful than they know." The Empire's pilots screamed in panic. Their formations were collapsing, and every attempt to regroup ended in failure. Fighters were shot down in seconds, cruisers torn apart before they could even fire. Admiral Cale Voss, who had once believed in his absolute victory, now felt fear for the first time in his life. "They are not just fighting," Voss said to his officers, his voice low and tense. "They are erasing us. How is this possible? They are humans, they should be weak, but they are destroying everything." On Earth, people watched the sky in awe. Explosions in orbit lit up the atmosphere, and strange blue ships moved faster than the eye could follow. Children clung to their parents, afraid but amazed. The humans were not helpless. They were fighting back with everything they had. Daniel led his squad through the battlefield, dodging beams and debris while firing precise strikes. Smaller Empire fighters tried to flank them, but the humans anticipated every move. Mia fired her pulse cannon, destroying another group of ships, while Lucas redirected energy to shields that were being tested by heavy fire. "They don't understand us," Mia said, her voice filled with determination. "They think numbers and weapons matter. They don't know humans fight with their minds. They don't know how clever we can be," Daniel nodded. "And they don't know courage. We fight not because we have to, but because we refuse to lose. They've never faced humans who will never give up." The Empire tried to counterattack with massive energy beams aimed at the human fleet. One beam struck Daniel's ship, shaking it violently. Alarms blared and smoke filled the cockpit. Daniel gritted his teeth and maneuvered quickly, dodging the next attack. "Lucas, shield output maximum. Mia, fire the pulse cannon now." The human weapons struck the Empire cruiser with perfect precision, breaking through its shields and causing it to explode. Pieces of metal floated silently through space as the rest of the Empire fleet watched in disbelief. Admiral Voss roared in frustration. "They are too fast. Too strong, all units, focus on them, do not let them escape." But it was already too late. Humans had turned the tide. Their fleet moved in perfect coordination, attacking in waves, striking the strongest ships first and then sweeping through the weaker ones. Every move was calculated, every strike deadly. The Empire could not predict it. Their technology was advanced, but their tactics were rigid. Humanity adapted, learned, and overcame every challenge. Mia's voice crackled through the communicator. "Daniel, we have multiple targets approaching from the rear. They are trying to flank us." Daniel adjusted his trajectory, moving his ship to intercept. "Not today. Lucas, redirect power to side thrusters. We'll cut them off before they can reach us." Lucas nodded, sending energy to the thrusters. The ship moved with incredible speed, cutting off the flanking ships. Mia fired the pulse cannon, destroying 2 more cruisers in quick succession. "They don't know what hit them," she said with a smile. Olivia guided the rest of the fleet from the command center. "Concentrate on the lead ships. Once their command is gone, the rest of their fleet will fall. Daniel, Mia, Lucas, you are the spearhead. Hit hard and fast." The humans pressed their advantage. One by one, the Empire ships fell. Smaller fighters were shredded in moments. Cruisers exploded in brilliant light. Even the largest ships, once thought untouchable, were reduced to debris. Humanity's fleet moved like a single organism, attacking, defending, and adapting in perfect harmony. Admiral Voss watched in horror as his fleet collapsed. "Impossible," he whispered. "They are humans. How can they be this strong? This cannot be real." Daniel and Mia didn't hear him. They were too focused on the fight. Another massive cruiser approached, firing heavily on a smaller human ship. Daniel aimed carefully, dodging debris and energy beams. "Mia, Lucas, we take it together. One shot, full power. Let's finish this." The pulse cannons charged, energy building to a brilliant glow. Daniel fired, and the beam hit the cruiser directly, penetrating its shields and tearing through its hull. The cruiser exploded in a massive fireball, sending shockwaves across space. Mia fired another shot at a nearby group of fighters, destroying them instantly. Lucas monitored their shields, making small adjustments to keep the fleet safe. "They thought they could intimidate us with numbers," he said. "They were wrong." Olivia's voice came over the communicator, calm and precise. "The lead ships are gone. The rest of the fleet will scatter. Continue the pursuit, but maintain formation. Do not lose focus. This is our moment." The Empire fleet attempted to flee, but the humans anticipated every move. Their ships cut off escape routes, forcing the enemy into tighter formations. Pulse cannons and guided attacks destroyed the retreating ships one by one. The Empire had no plan for humans who could adapt faster than they could fire. On the surface of Earth, people cheered as the explosions in the sky continued. They saw their planet being defended by something beyond imagination. Humans, ordinary humans, were striking fear into the greatest empire in the galaxy. Admiral Voss realized the truth too late. Humanity was not weak. They were not primitive. They were unstoppable when pushed to the edge. "We underestimated them," he said quietly. "We underestimated humans." Daniel's ship moved through the remains of the enemy fleet, surveying the destruction. "It's over for them," he said softly. "They thought they could erase us, but they didn't know what humans are capable of." "They didn't know courage, determination, or teamwork," Mia smiled. "And they didn't know ingenuity. Every move we made, every strike we fired, they could not predict. That's what makes us strong. That's what makes us human." Lucas looked at the glowing pulse cannons and the remaining ships. "They'll never forget this day. They thought they were invincible, but humans can fight back like no one else in the galaxy." Olivia's voice guided them home. "Regroup. Prepare for possible counterattacks. But know this, humanity has shown its strength today. We are not weak, we are not afraid, and we will not be destroyed." As the battle ended, the remnants of the Empire fleet fled into deep space, leaving Earth untouched but scarred. Humanity had survived the impossible, fought back, and erased a threat that had seemed unbeatable. Daniel, Mia, and Lucas returned to Earth's orbit, watching the sky calm once more. The hidden fleet had proven itself, and humanity had shown the galaxy that they were not to be underestimated. Daniel looked at the planet below. "We've won this battle," he said, "but the galaxy is watching now. They know what humans can do, and they will remember it." Mia nodded. "We've only just begun, but today we've made history." Lucas smiled, exhausted but proud. "Humans never back down. That's something they'll never understand until it's too late." Olivia's voice was soft but firm. "And that is the truth of humanity. We fight, we survive, and we win, always." The humans returned to their hidden bases, their ships glowing faintly in orbit. Earth was safe for now, but the galaxy had witnessed a new force, a force that no one could ignore. A force called humanity. The sky over Earth was calm again, but the tension did not leave. The battle had shattered the Empire's fleet, yet Daniel, Mia, Lucas, and the rest of humanity knew the fight was not over. Scattered enemy ships had fled into deep space, but humans could not afford to let them regroup. Daniel sat in the cockpit of his ship, watching the glowing fragments of destroyed cruisers drift silently. "They're out there," he said quietly. "Some of them will survive. They'll warn the rest of the Empire, and they'll come back stronger." Mia adjusted the controls beside him. "Let them come. We've learned something today. We've seen what our fleet can do, and they've seen it too." Lucas checked the systems of their ship. "All weapons operational, shields stable. The fleet is ready for any counterattack. I think they'll think twice before challenging us again." Olivia's voice came over the communicator from Earth Command. "The Empire has underestimated us once. They will do so again if they are not careful. We have proven humanity's strength today, but we must remain vigilant. Earth must be prepared for any future threat." Daniel nodded. "Understood, but for now, let's make sure the planet is safe." Above Earth, the hidden human fleet began to reposition. Their ships, still glowing from the battle, moved in formation to patrol the skies and orbit. Smaller teams scanned for remaining enemy craft, ensuring no one slipped through unnoticed. The humans had learned something invaluable. Speed, intelligence, and cooperation could overcome even the most advanced technology. In orbit, Daniel's squadron spotted a few fleeing ships. "There," Daniel said. "We can't let them warn their fleet. We take them out fast." Mia lined up the pulse cannons. "Ready, fire on my mark." The human ships moved in perfect synchronization. One beam, then another, and the last remaining Empire ships were destroyed. Silence filled space, broken only by the distant hum of human engines. Back on Earth, people emerged from shelters. Cities were damaged, but the population was alive. Children ran through streets filled with debris, and adults hugged family members, relieved that the nightmare had passed. Humans had survived an attack that should have wiped them out, and they had fought back with courage no one had expected. Daniel landed his ship on the edge of a city, the engines slowly shutting down. Mia followed, her ship lowering to the ground beside him. Lucas stepped out, stretching his arms. "I can't believe it," he said softly. "We did it. We actually did it." Daniel smiled faintly, but his mind was already on the next step. "We did, but this is only the beginning. The Empire will not forget today. They will watch Earth, and they will remember humans are not weak." Mia nodded. "Then we make sure they never underestimate us again. We show them humanity is united, powerful, and ready." Olivia joined them at the landing site, her eyes scanning the city. "We need to rebuild, yes, but we also need to prepare. This victory sends a message to the galaxy. Humans cannot be erased, and we will make sure everyone knows it." Lucas smiled, looking up at the stars. For centuries, they watched us and thought we were primitive. They laughed at us, they thought we were weak, but today they've learned the truth. Daniel's gaze remained steady. Not just them. Humanity learned it too. We've seen what we can do when we come together. When we refuse to surrender, nothing can stop us. The people of Earth began the slow work of repair. Cities were rebuilt, satellites repaired, and defense systems enhanced. Humanity had survived an attack that should have been impossible to survive, and in doing so, had proven that courage and intelligence were stronger than fear and firepower. News of the battle spread across the globe. For the first time, every person on Earth knew the full scale of what had happened. They had faced an enemy that could have destroyed them all and had survived. Children would grow up hearing the story of how humans had stood against a galactic empire and won in moments. Daniel, Mia, and Lucas returned to the command center to coordinate the reconstruction and defense. "We've won this fight," Daniel said, "but we can't forget what we learned. The galaxy is out there watching. We need to be ready for the next challenge." Mia checked the sensors. "All systems are operational. The hidden fleet is ready to respond at a moment's notice. Earth is stronger now, and we know our true strength." Lucas smiled. "It's more than just technology. It's strategy, courage, and the will to survive. That's what makes humans unstoppable." Olivia nodded. "And that is the message we send to the galaxy. Earth is not defenseless. Humanity is not weak, and anyone who dares attack us will face the full force of our determination." Above Earth, the last of the Empire's fleet disappeared into the distance. The stars were calm again, but the humans who watched them knew that peace would always be fragile. Yet today had proven something important. When humans fight, they fight like no one else in the galaxy. They fight with their minds, their hearts, and their unbreakable spirit. Daniel stood at the observation deck looking at the planet below. "They attacked us because they thought we were weak, but we showed them the truth. Humanity is not something to be underestimated. We survive, we fight, and we win." Mia joined him, her eyes reflecting the city lights. "And we will always be ready, for anything, for everyone. This is Earth and we protect it. No one can erase us." Lucas stepped up beside them. "They may return someday, but they will never forget what happened here today." Humans are more than they imagined, stronger than they ever guessed. Olivia's calm voice echoed in their minds through the communicator. "And that is the truth of humanity. We are creative, brave, and united. We rise when threatened. We overcome what seems impossible. That is our strength. That is our power." The fleet returned to orbit, shining like a shield over the planet. Earth was safe for now, but humanity had sent a warning that no one would ignore. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans were not weak, not primitive, and not powerless. Daniel, Mia, Lucas, and Olivia watched the stars, knowing the Empire would think twice before attacking again. They had faced the impossible and had emerged victorious. Humanity had awakened, and nothing in the galaxy would ever forget it. Above all, Earth had proven one undeniable truth. When humans are threatened, they rise together, stronger than any enemy, unstoppable in spirit, and impossible to erase. The Empire attacked Earth, only to be erased by humanity in moments.